call the meeting to order. We've got all the media here, so we can start. I'll ask Reverend Scott Horn from the First United Methodist Church to lead us in our invocation, and then please remain standing for Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. First, God, we give you thanks and bless this people place here. So we're given us. Now we ask you to give our leaders and our city council members wisdom, guide them in decisions that they make, so they'll make the best decisions possible for the well-being of our city. Pray this trusting in your goodness and grace.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Powers. Mr. Knight.
Present.
Mr. Bennett.
Present. Present.
Present.
I don't think we have any honors or recognition tonight. We'll move on to the agenda has been posted and online and also provided to council members. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? So moved. So moved by Mr. Cobb. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Fleury. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed likewise. Motion carries. We have a consent agenda. The consent agenda includes the City Council minutes of November 4th, 2013. Also includes a prepaid claims docket dated October 2013 in the amount of $1,034,969.64. We also have a claims docket dated November 13th, 2013 in the amount of $59,932.57. What are the wishes of the council on the consent agenda?
Make a motion that the consent agenda be approved.
A motion by Mr. Cobb. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bennett. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries.
Sorry.
It's too early to fall asleep this time of the meeting, folks. We move on here. Mayor, wake us up.
All right. I don't have a whole lot. I just want to recognize Kelly's not here tonight. She had a thing to do with her young daughter and Joy, and I think Gloria had something to do with it, but you all saw that in our effort to go paperless, they have now created a system that will allow them to allow these city employees to go online to look at their pay stubs. We've already gone through a 2-week pay period, and it's all direct deposited. And we're still shuffling out the pay stubs to make sure everybody had their pay stubs, but now that's been online thing that an employee can go on and actually monitor his pay stubs, and it just over a period of time, it just saves so much money because you're not printing those stubs anymore, and just the pure logistics of getting those things out on a bi-weekly method, bi-weekly cycle is just a lot of work. So I just want to congratulate them on moving us forward. The thing that keeps amazing me about our staff there is every time I ask them a question, they're already working on it. So they're always a step ahead. So that's good. But I just wanted to point that out. It's a little thing, but over a period of time, it becomes a big thing. It just saves money. And another problem you have, there's always an employee that comes back 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month after he gets paid, wanting to see his pay stubs. And now he can go and monitor his account and just print them off. So you guys probably already saw that with yours, didn't you? So congratulations to them for moving us forward, moving us toward a paperless operation. So thank you.
Are there any visitors who'd like to address the council? We'll move on with ordinances and resolutions. We have Resolution 82, 2013, and this is Rescue Squad surplus. They wish to dispose of a 2007 Ford E350 ambulance. Reading the material that's been presented to you, it's been in repair, and the cost of repair at this point is deemed, from their review, time to let them dispose of it. What are the wishes of the council?
From the order, I ask council to pass resolution 82-2013.
Mr. Knight moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cobb. Is there any questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed likewise. We'll move on to unfinished business, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Knight. This has to do with some work that was done on the CDG contract that was approved at the October 21st meeting. Mr. Knight, I'll let you.
I would like for, if it's within order with for council members, I would like for her, I would like you to just get up and tell us the changes that were made on this CDG grant and proposal, so we all know what's happening and understand it more clearly.
Yes, sir. There were some minor changes that were made. If y'all would like, I could go line by line. I mean, basically what I did was I went through and I compared it to some other engineering contracts that we had done in the past and added some language, and then went through and added some cross indemnity language where they're required to indemnify us if there's any claims that are related solely to the negligence of the engineer. And then also their contract provided that they were limited in their liability to the lesser of either the amount of the contract or the insurance that they were providing, and I changed that to the greater, those kind of changes. And then I added to several line items to provide for consent by the owner. So to allow, like in 3.6 and 4.3, and also in 5.6, for those things not to be done without prior written consent of the owner. And then I deleted the owner releases the engineer from any liability exceeding the contracting case. For whatever reason, there might be some instances where there would be greater liability. And then, like I said, also the hold harmless. And then the binding arbitration, I deleted where for that to be in Andalusia, for it to be in Eufaula. And then I added the project shall be designed to meet all federal aid and DOT standards for ATRIP projects. And then that any services to be rendered by the engineer during the construction phase will be led by the ALDOT and governed by a separate contract. Those kind of, so nothing unusual. All of it would be typical things that would be negotiated by me on behalf of the city. So nothing unusual.
So you're completely satisfied?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any
Yes, sir.
question from the council? Any question? Okay. With that in mind, we need to
Need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the
All right.
modified agreement.
All right, it's been properly motioned. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Pass.
Take a vote.
All right. All in favor, let it be known by roll call.
Ms. Laurie? Yes. Mr. Cobb?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Knight?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you for doing that, Courtney. Appreciate that. Mayor, you had some follow-up on, do you want to make a statement, Mr.
Yeah, I just want to say that in that contract, project that showed an engineering fee of 15% as a cap. That's not the actual engineering fees. They're governed by the actual time that's spent. So realistically, you're probably looking at about 10% on engineering fee. We're looking at probably breaking ground on this project in the fourth quarter of next year. It's projected to be about 240 workdays. So it's a long process, but the process started after started surveying and getting these plans laid out. So it won't come too soon for folks to live down that particular section of town, but it's exciting.
Welcome to the Walmart Vision Center.
Quality eye care by a team of professionals and as close as your local Walmart Supercenter here in Eufaula. Eye exams are done right and we accept most vision plans. TRICARE, Alabama and Georgia Medicaid. Dr. Clark is a certified professional in primary eye care. The Vision Center in Walmart of Eufaula with everyday low price.
Next item on the agenda is board appointments, and we have Eufaula Parks and Recreation Board and also Eufaula Healthcare Authority. Have we had any correspondence with these members as far as desiring reappointment? So this is Parks and Rec. Joshua Jones, term expired in October. Jim Bonner Jr. expired in October. Mr. Cobb, you serve on that board. Do you have any recommendations or additions?
I make a motion that we reappoint them for another 6 years term. I talked to both of them.
Okay, we have a recommendation to reappoint Joshua Jones and Jim Bonner Jr. to the Eufaula Parks and Recreation Board. Is there a second to that?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries. Eufaula Healthcare Authority likewise, if they express an interest for reappointment. Their term is a 3-year term and expires December 1st. And this is Mark Joy and Bertha Hawkins. What are the wishes of the council? Do we have any other nominees or wishes of the council?
If there's no other nominees, I would like to offer a motion that these two remain on the Eufaula Healthcare Authority for another 3-year term.
I'll second it.
Have a second. Any questions or discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. All right, they'll be reappointed, give them notice. Thank you. At this point, council action and discussion, I'm going to hand out, we had a finance committee meeting just prior to our council meeting that included, Mr. Bennett chairs that, the mayor, I, Gloria, and Gloria Helms and Joy were in it. I want to hand this out to you if you take one, John, and pass it out. Here's a trophy for you, John. I'm handing out an outline of some of the proposed revenue increases. Just do a quick review. As you know, we did a bare bones budget. And in our budget for this time, because of other revenue shortfalls, the 1/2 cent sales tax, which was put into place, which was intended to go for ATRIP and complete all the requirements for the roads and also help cover some other required expenses. Right now, we're using that to balance the budget. So we have to identify additional revenue. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Bennett to kind of give an overview on that between you, Mr. Bennett, and the mayor and myself. We'll kind of give you an update of what we've discussed and the direction we think we need to go.
I guess the good news is the sales tax and revenue actually came in equal to last year, which I guess realistically that was down from the start. So we understand that we're starting with a flat plate. We do know that we are upside down in the budget. And I guess through all the conversations, we expected to have revenue increases. And we looked at ways that we think are going to be the most effective way with the least pain. And through that, we came up with 3 increases and one way hopefully to spur revenue as well. The 3 increases are $1 increase in the garbage fee, the distribution fuel tax increase, and a 0.5 cent sales tax increase. And that will give us the revenue required to cover our opportunities. The additional item is a new law that came into effect last year, and it allows for an entertainment district, which will allow for some possible revenue increases downtown. And what that does is it opens up the area for more festivals, 5Ks and all that. It allows for open containers for beverages, adult beverages. So that is my recommendation on that, is we'll take a look at that, see possibly putting it in for a few months, making sure that it works out, and then if it works fine, we'll extend it. So, and additionally, as we discussed, the 0.5 cent sales tax, we'd definitely like to put an expiration date on it as well.
We talked about 3 years on that. You could take it off earlier, but you have a plan for a 3-year time.
And these numbers actually do keep us in competitive line with cities in our area and our size.
Mr. Cobb?
What would be our priority, number one, if we get this money?
Well, the first thing we would do is balance out our budget. It would allow us to meet all our obligations for what we have within the city, and also the commitments we've made for the ATRIP funding. And so when we move forward to borrow the money, we have to pay to do the ATRIP funding. We've got to borrow all the money up front first, then we get reimbursed part of it, and we have to finance the rest, which several means. Once we see how that balances out, then we can see where we can go up and maybe fill in some gaps where we've cut some of the other agencies and entities. I think that's where you might be going off of this.
Exactly, that's what I'm going.
So in conjunction with that, that's been part of our discussion. And we're doing some other things with where we might be able to enhance some revenue and save some expenses. Some of them are small, but some of them are greater. One of the other expenses that has come up, we didn't mention, but we've had an increase in our health insurance is going to go up. So we're trying to keep any increase on the employees as low as we can, and then absorb some of that in the city.
Sure, because my name is Lucky, and the reason they calls me Lucky is because I got all of this money. And the reason I got all of this money is because I sells me gold on Dale Road.
Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road.
We talked about having a work session on this a week from tomorrow, Tuesday the 26th, and then having a first reading on this on December 2nd, and then bringing it up on our second city council meeting. So to go through all these details and aspects of it. The other part about the money, you may recall, we had an obligation to do some improvements out at the Parks and Rec. We have a road that was not completed out there, and by the terms of the grant, when we got the property, we were supposed to have completed that additional paving. We had not done that, and our city attorney helped us get an extension on that, but if we don't complete that, that portion of the land would revert back to the donors. So we have things like that. We'll have the hospital lease coming up in a couple of years, and we've not set any money aside for the potential obligation that we have in our agreement with Southeast Alabama Medical Center Barber. So what we hope to do is take these funds and see how they come in, get us in a position where we can, one, address our firm obligations, but then also maybe take have some funds for opportunities. As the mayor made his point, you may want to elaborate on it, was that right now it's hard for us to do anything unless we get a grant. And then even some of those we have some challenges, because basically ATRIP's a grant, it's just a huge one, and we don't have the money for it right now. So that's the idea behind it. So we want to work with the school system and other folks as we see these funds develop, and that'll be a collaborative effort. But we'll have a work session. We can have additional, if on Tuesday, the 26th, a week from tomorrow, we'll have that work session. We can discuss. Do you have any additional questions? We can go through that. And then we can also have one for, before one of the council meetings too, if we need to. Does that meet everyone's approval?
Thank you.
Mr. Knight?
26.
That's a week from tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sorry. It'll be a public hearing also.
Okay.
So we'll do a public hearing, and we'll open it up for our own discussion and everything like that. I'm thankful.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the council members? And Mayor, Mr. Bennett, myself, and Joy will be available to give additional details off of this. I'm sure you might have some questions. The other thing I'd like to mention that this particular action, why it's important, is that we received a notice from Standards and Poor's Rating Service. And Mr. Cobb, Mr. Knight, you might recall that we had a good rating from Standards and Poor's, and what they're doing is they're updating their credit analysis. So they've given a series of questions to Ms. Joy White, City Clerk and Treasurer, that they're going to review. It's kind of like looking at your credit score, only this is a little different approach. So she has to put in a report in the first part of December. And we've been doing some things like getting a 5-year capital budget set up, and we've been approaching some of these other items. But it's important that we have revenue and debt balanced out and clear on paper where it's all coming and where it's all going. Is that a fair statement? Anything else to add on that? And she'll be working with the accountants who did our audit on this too. Any questions on that? It's a time for the public hearing to be 5 p.m. Tuesday, November 26th. Is there any other discussion we want to have with the council before we move on? Finance Committee report, anything you want to add? Mr. Bennett?
I think we covered it.
Education, library, zoning, and chamber. We have a chamber industry appreciation dinner this Thursday at 6 p.m. And I know there's some other activities going on. Mayors are participating in, but I think you'll be back for that. Industry appreciation and so forth. So yeah, I'm quite sure you all had an invitation to that dinner. If you could make it, I think it'd be greatly appreciated. That's all I have. Parks, Recreation, Airport.
Keith, done a good job.
Street Sanitation Cemetery, Ms. Fleur.
Good job. Got a report in the
Okay. Mr. Knight, police fire personnel.
Yes, I would just like to say, in your packages, you have a report you need to read at your spare time. And Mayor, I would like very much of the acting chief, yourself and myself, meet when you have a spare date. Let me repeat that, not a date. An afternoon when you can give us a few hours. I think something has come up that we need to talk about before we present it to the council. So it's your earliest convenience. This is important. So I would like to see with you. I'll get with you and Terry. So thank you.
further business coming before the council? May I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Mr. Cobb, do I have a second? Ms. Fleury?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise, thank you. Good job.
Change the way you think about tires with a tire that outperforms the rest. Stop shorter, lasts longer, save fuel. Get it with a Michelin tire from Herndon Tire Company. Outperforming for your business since 1964. Herndon Tire Company offers you the best tires, Michelin, and the best service. Alignments, brake repairs, struts, oil changes, custom exhaust, and nitrogen for your tires. For a safe, smooth ride, see them today. Herndon Tire Company, 810 South Eufaula Avenue, Eufaula.